It was a crisp autumn morning when I decided to take my son, Ethan, to get his school photos done. He was excited, bouncing around the living room in his uniform, adjusting his tie and asking me if his hair looked okay. I smiled, happy to see him so confident, and assured him he looked great. We arrived at the studio, a small but well-kept space filled with cameras, lights, and cheerful staff. The photographer, a middle-aged woman named Margaret, greeted us warmly, directing us to the back area where the portraits would be taken. Ethan was busy choosing a pose when I stepped into the room to straighten his collar. That's when I noticed it. Margaret's face had changed completely. Her eyes widened, her mouth opened slightly, and for a moment, she looked like she had seen a ghost. Excuse me, she stammered, glancing at me and then at Ethan. You two look incredibly alike. I tilted my head, confused. Alike? I asked, smiling. Well, he's my son, so I guess that makes sense? Margaret shook her head, taking a step back. No, it's more than that. I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. It's like, I've seen you before. I frowned slightly. Seen me before? In what context? She hesitated, clearly struggling to put her thoughts into words. I don't know how to explain it. Your son looks exactly like someone I photographed years ago. The facial features, the eyes, everything. It's eerie. I laughed softly, thinking she was exaggerating for effect. Ethan takes after me, of course. But I promise I haven't changed much over the years. As we moved to pose Ethan for his photos, Margaret kept glancing back at him. Her usual professionalism had slipped, replaced with disbelief. I finally asked her to explain. You're his father, right? She said cautiously. Not his uncle, not a relative. You're sure you're his father? Yes, I said firmly, placing a hand on Ethan's shoulder. Why? Margaret swallowed hard. Because, years ago, I photographed a boy who looked exactly like him. Same hair, same eyes, same expression. I never thought I'd see him again, and now, here he is. And he's your son. I started to piece it together. How long ago did you take that photo? About 20 years ago, she replied. It was in a completely different city. I had no idea where the family moved, but the resemblance is so strong, it's almost unreal. Ethan, oblivious to the conversation, smiled for the camera, excited to be done. I watched him carefully, suddenly feeling a mix of pride and astonishment. The photographer's reaction was more than just surprise. It was a reminder of how genetics, family traits, and time can converge in ways you never expect. After the photos, Margaret asked if she could show me the old photo she had taken. I agreed, curious. When she pulled it up on her computer, my jaw dropped. There was a young boy, maybe 7 or 8, with the same bright eyes, the same subtle smile, and the same way his hair fell across his forehead. It was uncanny. I couldn't believe it. It was like looking at Ethan through a time machine. We talked for a while, Margaret explaining how rare it was for her to see such a strong resemblance decades apart. She confessed that she often remembered certain children she photographed because of their distinctive features, but she never imagined one would appear again in such a direct way. Ethan was busy examining the props for his next pose, completely unaware of the amazement surrounding him. I looked at him, then at the photograph, and felt a deep sense of connection. Genetics, yes, but also the years, the memories, and the life we had built together, all of it reflected in his face. Driving home, I thought about how small moments can carry such unexpected surprises. A routine school photo appointment had turned into an encounter that reminded me of the incredible way life weaves connections across time. It wasn't just about physical resemblance. It was about history, legacy, and the continuity of family traits. Ethan chatted happily in the back seat, oblivious to the impact his presence had had on Margaret. I smiled quietly, realizing that some of the most profound experiences come when you least expect them, a reminder of the bonds we carry and the stories that unfold quietly around us. At home, I placed the new photos on the mantel, side by side with a few old family pictures. Seeing them together, I marveled at the thread that connected generations, at how the smallest features can carry memories forward, and at how a simple day like this can leave an imprint far deeper than I could have imagined. Margaret's reaction had been startling, yes, but it also reminded me that family is full of little miracles. Every expression, every smile, Every glance can carry echoes of the past, waiting for the right moment to surprise you. That day taught me to pay attention to the ordinary moments, the ones we often rush through, because sometimes they contain the most extraordinary reminders of who we are and where we come from. And for Ethan, it was just another day of school photos, but for me, it was a day I would never forget.